Hey guys, Captain Paul here from Sail Monterey. Welcome to our virtual information session for our USVI trip coming up in May 2026. We'll get started right away. Here's our overview slides. We're going to talk about why we're going to the USVI. We're going to meet the islands, talk about travel planning, the itinerary, some highlights, costs, and you can reach out to me at Sail Monterey anytime with questions. Number one, we are choosing the USVI because it's U.S. territory, so logistics of travel are a little bit easier. You just need a real ID. You don't need a passport. We have familiar logistics as well. We'll be using the US dollar. Obviously, they speak English there as well, like many places do. And also, your US cell service should work there. It's also very beginner friendly. Islands are small, passages short, and the infrastructure supports cruising. And the only reason we're not going to the BVI mostly is because the increase of logistical complexity in travel, but also it is more expensive. And for this first trip that Sail Monterey is putting on, that's why we chose the USVI. So let's meet the islands. We're going to be visiting St. Thomas and St. John, but St. Croix is also a part of the USVI. Let's fly there now with Google Earth. As you can see, we have Sail Monterey here at latitude 36.5 degrees north. And then down here near Puerto Rico, the USVI is down at 18.3 degrees north, right between the Tropic of Cancer and the equator. So it's nice and warm and tropical down there. If we zoom in a little bit more, you can see this amazing Caribbean archipelago, just beautiful with all these pretty famous islands. If we zoom in a little more, you can now see the 3 U.S. Virgin Islands there, close to the British Virgin Islands. And then the 3 highlighted in red, St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix. And here's one more map to take a kind of a cool look. In green, we have the Spanish Virgin Islands. In orange, we have the U.S. Virgin Islands. And in blue, we have the British Virgin Islands. Okay. A really quick history of the USVI. In 1493, Christopher Columbus came through and named the islands the 11,000 Virgins. Soon after that, there were lots of European powers kind of vying for control over those islands. For 250 years, Denmark ruled this area. They named it the Danish West Indies, or the Danish West India Company was ruling a lot of this. They imported African slaves to run sugar plantations and other things like that. Years later, after Denmark finally abolished slavery, it became not as profitable to run these islands. They ended up selling them to the United States for $225 million in gold at the time. Here's the flag for the United States Virgin Islands. Pretty cool. We're going to focus for this trip on St. Thomas and St. John. These islands are both right next to each other. Once again, very short passages and very easy logistics when it comes to traveling there, picking up the boat and cruising around. The 2 islands have very different experiences. So St. Thomas, there's a little bit more going on in terms of population and things to do like shopping and restaurants and things like that. As well, we have St. John, more natural, laid-back hiking, and a little more pristine. So it's actually the Virgin Islands National Park covers 2/3 of the island in St. John. We will experience both of the islands on this trip, but a lot of it is going to be spent at St. John. The best time to visit, peak season, is December through April. It's the driest weather. The prices are the highest, and it is very crowded at that time. So Sail Monterey is planning this at the very end of peak season in May. That's their shoulder season. We have a great balance of good weather, and it's way less crowded, and it's less expensive. For travel planning, we are proposing dates for about May 10 to 18. So this is going to be about a 9-day-ish trip when it comes to travel, all said and done. And we're looking at an 8-day charter and 7 nights on the boat. Traveling is pretty easy. You just book your flight to Cyril E. King Airport, STT, on St. Thomas. Flights are going to range from $600 to $1,000, depending on your departure location. From here, we are going to take a taxi to Compass Point Marina on St. Thomas. And then from there, we're going to check in at the Virgin Island Yacht Charter office, okay? As you can see here, this is the airport where we will be landing. We'll take a very short taxi ride that Sail Monterey will book in advance. It's about 27 minutes long, over here to the other side of the island where Virgin Island Yacht Charters rents the catamaran that we'll be taking. So packing guidelines, keep it simple, sailor. Essentially, you're going to be in a bathing suit and flip-flops pretty much every day. And you just don't want to pack too much, and especially don't want to bring like hard luggage cases. But we'll get more into packing guidelines as we do more planning. So I can share this. This is right off the Virgin Island Yacht Charter's website. Our loose itinerary is the first day that we land in St. Thomas, we're going to check in at the charter company and sleep on the boat that we'll be taking. We may have 1 to 3 boats. We're hopefully just going to get 2. Day 2, we'll depart for the southern end of St. John, anchor or moor at Lampshire Salt Pond Bay. Day 3, depart for Waterlemon Bay. That's where the plantation, the old ruins of the plantation are. Stay there for a couple days. On day 5, we will leave Waterlemon Bay for Maho, Trunk, and Hawks Nest Bays. Day 6, depart for Cruise Bay. Day 7 for Maggins Bay. Day 8, we'll start heading back towards where we need to return the boat. And we'll have pizza that night, the last night that we're there, and the following day return the boat at Encompass Point Marina. And here is just a quick little map of how that itinerary is going to go. In the yellow smiley face, that is where we will start and finish. Follow the green line along. We will go from St. Thomas to the southern end of St. John, like I mentioned before. The next day will be a 12 nautical mile trip. So imagine on a catamaran like this is very similar to sailing from Monterey to Moss Landing. It's also a 12 nautical mile trip. So imagine about 2 hours. If we want to spend a lot more time on the water, we could make it a 4-hour trip to get to Waterlemon. From there, we will explore the northwest side of St. John. There's many cool places to visit right over here. So we'll make a couple more short hops on these days, as you can see in the blue and the yellow line. And then we'll do a couple more longer sails to go and visit the other side of St. Thomas and Maggins Bay. Following the red line back, we have a 10 nautical mile trip all the way back to, I think it's Little or Great St. James Island over here, where the little floating pizza company is, which is really fun to check out. And then the last day in this pink or magenta color, you'll see we have a really short ride to bring the boat back nice and easy on the last day. So here's some highlights. Obviously, we have some great solitude in nature, history and ruins. We have snorkeling and fishing to do, obviously sailing, and relaxing aboard and ashore. So let's take a look at some pictures. Picture on the left is me holding a really big hermit crab, which was cool. We saw this on a hike on our first day there last May. And then on the right, you can see a really beautiful picture of our 47-foot catamaran anchored in Lampshire Bay. Continuing on the left, you can see my wife, Tina, here, and my mom and dad, and we're swimming. It is very warm water, easy to swim in, and great snorkeling. On the right-hand side, you can see we have some cool ruins. This is the Annaberg sugar plantation, and visiting this and walking around is a really cool history lesson. It's a lot of fun to learn how to sail a big boat. So we've got big sails and electric winches. On the right, you can see a picture of me driving the catamaran there, and you'll have on both yachts that we take, you'll have professional help to help you and your crew sail from one place to another. On the left here, we have some fun seats on the boat, beautiful views. On the right, you can see Tina and I sitting on the dinghy in Waterlemon Bay, really beautiful. We have some great sunsets and some fun places to eat and drink. I'm having a frozen rum runner in this picture. That was delicious. Here is following, we have some pictures of one of the boats we'll most likely charter, which this boat's name is Calypso. It's Fountaine Peugeot. I think it's a 42-foot catamaran. So here's a picture of the front. Here's a picture of the kitchen, the galley, if you will, a little nav station, and behind that is a little salon area. So lots of space there. Here is a full-size bed in one of the cabins. This boat has 4 of these. Looking out from that picture, you can see each cabin has its own bathroom, head and shower. And looking out from that bedroom, you can see the other bedroom on the other side of that hull. It's a full-size picture of the catamaran there on the right. Also have a nice outdoor dining area in the back of the boat. Some stairs that lead up to the helm. And then some nice lounging seats in the back as well. Pretty good sized barbecue. Some more lounging seats on the top of the boat. Some awesome seats at the front, plus the net. We also have a setup for the dinghy that actually is raised and lowered on a hydraulic swim platform, so that's pretty cool too. So costs, our all-inclusive cost with Sail Monterey, this is a rough estimate, this might change, but we're looking at $29.50 a person. In asterisk there, I'll explain in a second, but for sure about $5,900 per cabin. So it may be difficult to sell per person unless we can figure out a way to get singles either sleeping in like the salon area, or if we charge people singles extra to take their own cabin. But we're looking at trying to get couples into the full size bed cabins, and perhaps we can try to rent boats that actually have bunk rooms. So I'll be trying to figure that out as well. So what's included in blue? We have the vessel, which is the biggest chunk of change here. Just to get the boat itself is going to be anywhere from like $8,000 to $13,000, depending. We also have included taxes, charter fees, the taxi ride, provisioning, fuel, mooring fees, snorkel gear, water toys, and a Sail Monterey captain on board to help you and the rest of your club members get the boat from place to place. What is not included in the price are flights. If you want additional ASA certifications while we're there, like if you want to do your 104 class, that will be an extra cost. I'm not sure what that cost will be right now, but we will figure that out a little bit later. Meals and beverages ashore will not be included, so that'll be up to you to pay for that for yourself. And of course, discretionary purchases while you're there. We have some local comparisons here. The USVI Go Sail, USVI or Go Sail Virgin Islands, something like that. They're selling a couples premium catamaran course where they certify you in ASA 101 through 114. So it's like 4 ASA classes. They're charging all about $10,000 for this. So the Sail Monterey price is pretty competitive. This price also is actually 1 day shorter than the Sail Monterey charter, and it's more expensive. Okay. Another comp, we have Learn to Sail San Diego is hosting a guided flotilla in the BVI, and that is $3,500 a person. This is also 1 day shorter than what we're proposing and more expensive. Okay. From there, guys, we have questions. If you want, you can reach out to me, call me on my cell phone, or email me, paul@sailmonterey.com, and we can chat about more planning. Thank you for watching.